What's up guys, Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com. Welcome. Today I have nothing to sell you, so let me start off by saying that I have a program called Intelligent Cryptocurrency, which is a newsletter, a community, all sorts of tutorials and courses, but I closed the doors to that a couple of days before recording this video, actually, because I've decided that we are in a point in the bull run where I think it's getting more and more risky to start buying into crypto. Now, I actually do think there's still a lot of upside potential left at the time when I closed my doors. So what I decided to do was to stop taking on new members, focus on all the existing members that we have in the group to help navigate them through the current bull market cycle, and then basically just close doors to new members, and then I will open again when I think it's more safe to do so after the market has crashed or after we've started the bear market, so that we can avoid people buying into the very top. Because in these market cycles with cryptocurrency, and depending on when you're watching this, if it's recent, today as I'm recording this, it's May 18th, 2021. If you're watching this later on, it might be more and more risky as the time goes on because we get closer and closer to the top. But what happens in market cycles, especially with crypto, is that most people tend to only get interested towards the very top of the market, which is a really bad time to buy in, because then you can buy in right at the top. It drops 50, 60, 70, 80%. You can lose a large part of your money. And if it drops that much and you decide to take the loss and sell, well, then you've just taken a huge, huge loss. So that is my reasoning behind closing the doors and why I actually don't have anything to sell you. But I want to make this video and keep this here in place because I can still help you, or I do my best anyway, to try and help as much as possible and share and educate. So first things first, if you are not yet following me on Instagram, and what I have for you also, the link is down in the description below. You can see it over there. It's basically a complete beginner's course for cryptocurrency. It's 18 video lessons with text transcription, super detailed, super informative, and it's completely free. So that's basically what I can help you with. Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to my Instagram, grab my beginner's course. You also get on my email list that way, so I can send you updates of whenever there's something important happening. And also importantly, if I will be opening my doors again to intelligent cryptocurrency at some point in the future, that way I can notify you via email. So I think a way to best help you if you're watching this right now, besides the beginner's course and stuff to get you up to speed, is to understand Bitcoin and cryptocurrency's 4-year cycle. So basically, Bitcoin has a halving in supply every 4 years. It's built into the code. This is known as the Bitcoin halving. We had the first one in 2012, the second one in 2016, the most recent one in 2020. Every time the supply gets cut in half, until eventually all the maximum Bitcoin of 21 million Bitcoin that there will ever be will be in existence, and that will only happen by the year 2140 or something. So a long way away, but the majority of Bitcoin has already been mined. Now, because Bitcoin has this halving cycle, different cryptocurrencies known as altcoins, they tend to behave in a similar 4-year cycle based on Bitcoin's halving. So what we've seen, and there isn't a lot of data to go with, okay? So Bitcoin was only created in 2009, so that's 12 years ago. Most altcoins are only about 5 or 6 years old, some even less than that. So it's not like we have this track record or history of, decades of price action and knowing exactly how this behaves. It is still a completely new and developing market that I think over the next years is going to get much, much bigger. We are talking about many trillions, maybe even tens of trillions of dollars in market cap, and we are looking at a new technology, a new financial asset class, everything melted into one, and it is super, super exciting and interesting, and the potential for upside going forward I think is really, really big. But within this larger move of massive adoption and going into tens of trillions of market cap, there are going to be fluctuations, and crypto is highly volatile. So what we're going to start seeing is we're going to start seeing these blow of tops and then corrections, and blow of tops and corrections. Like we saw, we had a huge blow of top in 2017, followed by a 3-year bear market, now following into a bull market in 2017 again. And I suspect that sometime either this year or next year, we are going to get another blow of top, followed by another correction. And after this correction happens, that I think is going to be another life-changing opportunity potential if you can buy in after that crash or the lows of that crash and ride the next cycle up. Like this cycle so far we've seen in March 2020, Ethereum, for example, was at $100. It's traded at almost $4,500. So it's literally done a 45x from the lows. So meaning, if you put in 10 grand, it could have turned into $450,000. You put in 100 grand, it would have been $4.5 million. Now, I do still think there's some massive upside potentials, especially in the altcoins, even at this point as I'm recording this. But the large gains in Bitcoin and Ethereum have already been made percentage-wise. So that's why in the next crash, after everything has come down, that moment is going to be an amazing opportunity to start loading up again on crypto. And at that point, the doors to intelligent cryptocurrency will definitely be open, and I will be sharing more and more and more. But again, stay tuned. Grab the beginner's course, get on my email list, get on the YouTube, get on the Instagram, so I can continue to update this. So again, coming back to the 4-year cycles, you can see after what I've just explained what it really is. This green is the 2013 cycle. The orange is a 2017 cycle, and the red is where we are currently at. So you can see in terms of price action and multiples, you can see the days from the first break of the previous all-time high versus the price scale of the 2020 cycle. You can see we're currently somewhere over here. So if this repeats the previous 2 cycles, or even models it similarly, and you can see it's been following it pretty closely, then we could be looking at a massive upside over the coming 3 to 6 months. It is completely possible. If this path continues, we can get a massive blow of top in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, and in the altcoins. And if this happens in the altcoins, I think we might be looking at 10, maybe even 20x returns, which is obviously huge. Meaning if you put in 1,000, it can turn into 10 or 20. You put in 100K, it could turn into $1 million or $2 million. But obviously that is not guaranteed. So we're already a year into the cycle. We are 1 year past the previous halving in 2020, which happened in May last year. So that is why I'm saying, that's why I've closed the doors, because I feel like a large part of the gains have already been made. Now I do think, like I've said before, there's still a lot of upside potential, but the longer we continue going in the cycle and the higher we get, the more risky it becomes to start buying in, because the upside potential gets less and the downside potential gets bigger. So this is what I want you to be aware of, whether you're watching this, pretty recently in May as I've just made this, or a couple months down the line. I don't know if I'm going to update this video down the line, so I might just leave this for a couple of months, depending on when you're watching this. Just be aware of these cycles. Nothing is going to go up forever, and the longer it goes, right, the closer we get towards these cycle peaks, meaning you can see over here, days from the break of the previous all-time high. As long as we get to between 250 and say 300 days past that previous break, well, then we get closer and closer towards the top. And you can see the corrections last time have been steep, 80, 90, even more than 90% in some altcoins. So you absolutely don't want to be buying near these tops, because you can be buying the tops and afterwards we could get 6 months, 12 months, maybe even multiple years of correction and pullback. And that correction could be big and deep. So as this continues going on, you want to get more and more risk averse. Obviously, you never invest what you can't afford to lose. Okay, it is highly risky. Even on the way up, there are corrections of 30, 40, 50% pretty regularly. But in a bull run, the market keeps going higher. But at some point, if you buy near the top, those 50% corrections are not going to come back up, and it's going to be 50, 60, 70, 80%, and it can be brutal. So I just want to warn you for that. Again, I have nothing to sell you right now, so I'm just trying to help you here and trying to warn you, and keep an eye on this. Okay, so if you're watching this maybe a few months down the line and Bitcoin is going crazy, Ethereum is crazy, altcoins are crazy way up, okay, even higher than where they are now, then you might want to consider, keep an eye on this chart, keep an eye on these various data and statistics, because that might be closer and closer to the top, and then you might actually be better off not purchasing cryptocurrency, waiting for the crash, waiting 6 or 12 months, waiting for it to go back down, right? Having that 50, 60, 70, 80% drawdown, crash, correction, and then start loading up the truck again, because then the next cycle is also once again going to be insane. It doesn't repeat like this. Nothing is guaranteed. Every single time is going to be different. There are going to be diminishing returns as the size of the market cap gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But overall, I do still believe we have one cycle after this last one where there's still going to be crazy upside potential, where I'm talking about 20, 30, 40, 50x potential. So if you manage to get in the lows on that next cycle, that could be really life-changing stuff. So before I let you go, what I want to share with you also, I'll add a link to this below where you can keep an eye on this stuff yourself. Look into bitcoin.com/charts. There are a lot of different websites that offer this kind of charting data. This one is free and it's pretty useful. So what you can go and do over here is they have all these different charts, like the investor tool, the pool multiple, the stock to flow model, all that kind of stuff. So for example, let me just open up 3 of these. I like these. And then what you can go and do is use these to have an indication of where we are in the cycle and if we are approaching previous cycle tops or not. So what I mean by this, the previous top in 2013, previous top in 2017, if you look at the extremes of where they are on the chart, how much they were above this red zone, above the red zone, you can see right now as I'm making this, we are not yet above the red zone. So if we start getting above the red zone, we are approaching previous cycle top extremes, meaning it's more likely that we are coming close to the end of the bull run, and it's probably a good time to start considering to get out. The same thing with this Puel multiple, okay? Previous cycle tops, you can see way into the red zone. 2017, way into the red zone. Right now, we are not there yet. If we start getting into this red zone in the cryptocurrency market cycle, and you are looking at that, again, that is another warning sign that we are approaching previous cycle top extremes, and probably a good warning sign that it's time to get out or reduce risk. Same thing here with the MVRV score. Similar thing, way into the red, actually above the red. 2017, way into the red, above the red. Right now, we are nowhere near that. But once we start getting in there, or especially above, then again, it's a warning sign. Previous cycle top extremes, time to get out or reduce risk and, wait for it to drop back down. Obviously, in the green zone, ideally, were the best times to be able to start entering and building a position in cryptocurrency. So again, the link to that will be below. So please do go and subscribe to my YouTube, to my Instagram. The links are below this video. Sign up for my free beginners course if you're new to crypto, you don't know where to get started, all that kind of stuff. Literally, it's an 18-lesson course. Link is down below. It's completely free, and you get on my email list too, so I can update you with any important developments and anything like that. And if you do have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact me by email. I will leave my email address down below too. So thanks for watching. I wish you the best of luck with your cryptocurrency journey. Hopefully you want to follow along on the ride on my YouTube and Instagram and email. So follow along there, and I will do my best to just share content as often and as high value as possible. So thanks for watching and good luck.